All right, Deep Divers, you know the drill. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit us up in the comments. Now, let's get ready to dive deep. Today's topic, Malia Obama dropping her last name for her directorial debut. What's the deal? Bold statement against nepotism. Super savvy career move. Let's break it down.
Yeah, tons of buzz around this, especially with all the Nepo baby stuff blowing up online these days.
True. For anyone out there living under a rock and not totally up on the latest internet drama, could you maybe give us a quick rundown? What exactly is a Nepo baby and why are people so fired up about it?
Oh, for sure. Nepo baby basically refers to anyone who, gets a leg up in entertainment or whatever, thanks to family connections. Like your mom's a huge actress, boom, you've got a direct line to Hollywood. And, well, it sparked some pretty heated debates. Is it fair? Is it all about who you know, not what you can do? Does inherited advantage just, totally dominate?
I can see why people are riled up. Okay, so we've got Malia, daughter of former President Barack Obama, opting to go by just Malia Ann in the credits for her film The Heart. It premiered at Sundance, by the way. I mean, the president's daughter going for anonymity, you got to admit, that's pretty wild.
Definitely a head-scratcher. And what's even wilder is what her dad had to say about it all. Barack Obama was on the Pivot podcast, and he mentioned his daughters are, and I quote, very sensitive and very stubborn when it comes to, not wanting to ride their family name to success.
That stubborn comment really jumps out, huh? Makes you think she's super independent, like she's got to blaze her own trail. But man, how do you even begin to separate yourself from a name like Obama? It carries so much, well, everything.
Yeah, talk about a tightrope walk between using that privilege and, trying to deflect it. Even by going with Malia Ann, she's kind of acknowledging the power of her family name, right? But at the same time, it's almost like she's trying to wrestle back control of the whole story.
Yeah.
Super fascinating attempt to get judged on her own merits.
Especially when, as Obama himself pointed out to her, people are going to know who she is anyway. And her response to that, I'm quoting here, I want them to watch that first time and not in any way have that association. Wow. Talk about putting your foot down.
And you got to think, this whole determination to, steer the narrative about her public image, it probably goes way back. Remember how Obama was super careful to keep his daughters out of the spotlight during his presidency?
Oh, yeah, he practically had a deal with the press pool to just leave them alone. And mostly, they did.
Right. That kind of intense, protected privacy, it must have had a huge impact on how Malia sees fame. Maybe even pushed her to distance herself from the Obama name, at least professionally. It really shows you how much parents' choices, especially about public life, can shape their kids' views.
So given that background of, super private upbringing, it's kind of fascinating to see how Malia's navigating her public image now that she's, out there.
It seems like both she and Sasha are approaching the whole spotlight thing with a pretty down-to-earth attitude. Remember that quote? We're not looking for all that. Said that about the paparazzi craziness. It's almost like they're consciously trying to decide for themselves what their relationship with fame will be, Yeah. Not letting it be dictated to them.
Their whole story really makes you think about the crazy pressure and expectations kids of famous people face, doesn't it? It's a real balancing act between their own ambitions and how the public sees them. Think about it. Starting a new job, do you play up your past accomplishments? Or do you kind of downplay them so you're judged only on what you're doing now?
Right.
Something we all deal with. But for someone like Malia, it's amplified by 1,000.
Absolutely. Raises some huge questions. What does it even mean to create your own identity when your last name's, Obama? How do you walk that line between the advantages and the burdens of, coming from that kind of legacy?
It's her story, her film, her career, and she's calling the shots. Got to give her props. That's a bold move. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Makes you wonder, though, could you resist using your family name to your advantage if you were in her shoes?
Now that's a question to chew on.
Definitely is. So what are your final thoughts on all this?
Well, I think Malia Obama's choice to go with Malia Ann really shows us how complicated the whole thing is, Identity, family legacy, public image, it's all tangled up. Her story is a powerful example of how people, even those born in the spotlight, can try to take control of their own narrative.
Perfectly said. And hey, deep divers, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you think in the comments. What's your take on Malia's decision? We want to hear it. Catch you next time for another deep dive.